Hello, hi. Starship's 11th flight test reached every objective, providing valuable data as SpaceX prepared the next generation of Starship and Super Heavy. Okay, getting into the details of Starship's 11th flight test, on Monday, that is on October 13, 2025, at 6:23 p.m. Central Time, Starship lifted off from Starbase, Texas on its 11th flight test. This was the final flight of the second generation Starship and first generation Super Heavy booster, as well as the final launch from the current configuration of Pad 1. Every major objective of the flight test was achieved, providing valuable data as SpaceX prepared the next generation of Starship and Super Heavy. The flight test began with Super Heavy igniting all 33 Raptor engines and ascending over the Gulf. The successful first stage ascent was followed by a hot staging maneuver, with Starship's upper stage igniting its 6 Raptor engines to continue its flight to space. Following stage separation, the Super Heavy booster completed its boostback burn to put it on a course of a pre-planned splashdown zone of the coast of Texas using 12 of 13 planned engines. Under the same angle of attack tested on the previous flight, the booster descended until successful igniting of all 13 planned engines, including one that did not relight during the boostback burn. So the booster descended until successfully igniting all 13 planned engines for the high thrust portion of the landing burn. The booster successfully executed a unique landing burn planned for a use on the next generation booster. Super Heavy hovered above the water before shutting down its engines and splashing down. After completing a full duration ascent burn, Starship achieved its planned velocity and trajectory. During flight, Starship successfully deployed 8 Starlink simulators and executed the third in-space relight of a Raptor engine, demonstrating a critical capability for future deorbit burns. Starship re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and was able to gather extensive data on the performance of its heat shield, as it was intentionally stressed to test the limits of vehicle's capabilities. In the final minutes of flight, Starship performed a dynamic banking maneuver to mimic the trajectory that future missions returning to Starbase will fly. Starship then guided itself using its 4 flaps to the pre-planned splashdown zone in the Indian Ocean, successfully executing a landing flip, landing burn, and soft splashdown. SpaceX focus now turns to the next generation of Starship and Super Heavy, with multiple vehicles currently in active build and preparing for test. This next iteration will be used for the first Starship orbital flights, operational payload missions, propellant transfer, and more as SpaceX iterate to fully and rapidly reusable vehicle with the service to Earth orbit, the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Okay, you can have a look at the video now. Have a nice day. Be curious. Thank you.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
See the engines throttling down.
Booster engine cutoff. Ship ignition. Stage separation. Boostback burn startup.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly, though, we've got 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space.
And as we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just about 20 seconds away from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a harder thing.
Booster landing burn startup. Booster landing burn shutdown.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shutdown. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration. And into the water we go.
Less than 30 seconds to go in this ship ascent burn. Alright, RVACs have shut off. 3 more to go.
Ship engine cut off.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating. There goes another one. And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights. So we should be just about a minute and a half where, again, as Amanda just said, we're going to relight one of those center engines. This will be the third time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks in the nose cone, where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane in a smaller, more easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns, and we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability of turning one of these engines on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago. Here we go.
Oh, Raptor ignition. And shutdown.
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3, full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal second orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. E3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
All right, that was basically our reverse max Q, so most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during re-entry, we just passed through it, so we're past that, we're past peak heating.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower. Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
Ship landing startup.
There's our landing burn. Three down to two.
Starship has landed.